Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called How to Save the Hotel Industry. Recent economic events have caused tremendous damage to the hotel industry. We're going to show you how small and large hotel chains can be brought back from the edge. This can be done with innovation and only innovation. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe, like, follow, and comment on the show, as well as to tell you that HollywoodIsCalling.com is a company that sponsors us. They allow people to purchase live calls with more than 100 celebrities. It could be a birthday call, it could be a Merry Christmas call, or it could be just an inspirational call. So the calls are $19.95 for a 15-second call and $29.95 for a 30-second call. So give it a try. It's HollywoodIsCalling.com. Now let's get started. Recent events have all but decimated the hotel industry. Almost nobody is traveling, and very few people are staying at hotels because of what's going on. Drive past any large hotel at night and take a look at the number of lit up rooms, and you'll see a lot of dark rooms in the evenings, which is a very good indicator of how high the vacancy rate is at a number of these hotels. The next problem is reopening the hotels and generating new business. That's going to be a huge problem because there's very little interest on the part of the public now in staying at a hotel room where the previous occupant may have had COVID-19 or maybe may have been suspected to have COVID-19. And if not that individual, maybe, one of the previous 10 or 20 people who stayed at the hotel room. That is a growing concern. People don't want to expose themselves to environments that may transmit the illness to them. Psychologically, that fear poses a huge deterrence to people who are afraid of contracting it from a previous hotel customer. There's one potential technological solution for that and that is to have hotels purchase UV robots. These are ultraviolet robots that enter a room on their own. They move about the room with a UV lamp, and they use the ultraviolet rays of that lamp to kill all the germs and organisms living on the various surfaces of that room. It takes about 20 minutes for the robot to navigate throughout the room and cover all the surfaces with the level of UV light that is intense enough to kill everything. Now, obviously, there can be no humans in the room because the UV lights are so intense that they can cause damage to humans. Once the robot is finished, they can be brought out of the room, and you'll notice a strange smell. And that smell is caused by the killing of all the bacteria. But that's very easy to deal with. You simply air out the room and problem solved. What's really important is that hotel owners be in a position to tell their future customers that all their rooms are bathed in UV light to kill all the germs and all the surfaces right after each vacancy, so that each new incoming hotel guest has a fresh, clean room. Now, these UV robots can cost anywhere from $60,000 to $150,000, but not having one will all but guarantee that your customers go to a hotel that does. The next major issue is that for the foreseeable future, people are going to be very reluctant to travel and stay at hotel rooms simply because they have been depleted financially. They have spent all their money on food and necessities, and they've been out of work for months, and that has drained them financially. So the notion of them, going to a hotel or going on vacation is probably not really realistic for the near-term future. The solution for that is to come up with new ways for your hotels to generate revenue. We have some really clever suggestions. The one is discounted government contracts. Recently, the President of the United States discussed the idea of helping the airlines by possibly purchasing 5 years worth of airline tickets that government employees could obtain at a huge discount. So the advantage here for the government would be that they could buy airline tickets for 50 to 60% off the normal prices. And the airline companies themselves, they would get a huge cash infusion, which would help them now in their hour of need. Hotel companies and chains should begin pursuing government contracts now and start offering their rooms at a massive discount to the government in exchange for upfront payments. This would provide the hotel industry with an enormous amount of money now when they need it, and it would also help travelers get rooms at a very aggressive price, and that would help us save the money on future travel expenses. Another huge benefit is that doing so would pump a lot of money into local economies, because all those government employees who travel to cities throughout the United States on government business in the future, they're also going to spend money in the local economies there. So that'll benefit those people and those municipalities. Another thing that management companies should consider is offering hotel rooms at very aggressive discount prices to entice customers to stay at their hotels. If you look at a lot of these hotels, some of them have 80, 90, 95% vacancy rates at this point in time. So if you have to offer 60 or 70 or 80% discount on hotel room costs, hotel room prices, then that's still some money you'll have coming in. And some money is almost always better than no money. Another option that hotel owners should begin seriously exploring is multi-use. A lot of businesses are going to fail here in the near future. They simply won't be able to afford the ongoing costs of their leases. They're going to bail on those leases and destroy their credit in the process. I believe that hotel chains should start offering some of their rooms as virtual or temporary offices that have been modified to allow small and medium-sized businesses to use them on a month-to-month basis as their business or operation centers. If you modify your rooms properly, that would provide these potential commercial tenants with tremendous advantages on both cost and convenience. There's also the issue of municipal and state offices. I believe that a lot of local and state governments are going to be crushed by debt here in the near future, and that they too will have many challenges paying the leases on a lot of their buildings. This will provide hotel companies with an excellent opportunity for them to book hotel rooms that have been modified for office use. Those hotel rooms can be offered on a weekly or even a monthly basis to a lot of these government agencies who simply cannot afford their current rent lease payments. And the hotels aren't going to ask you for your credit score or ask you to fill out a credit application. They're simply going to ask you to make your payments up front. But that really won't matter to the tenant, because those payments should theoretically be so much lower than the governments were paying on their long-term leases that the incentive should be substantial enough for them to proceed. Next, you have the issue of displaced apartment renters. Millions of Americans are going to be losing their apartments because of recent events. They're also going to have their credit destroyed, which is going to make it really difficult for them to find another place to stay at. I believe that hotels should modify their business models so they can provide rooms for those who have lost their apartments, and do so at a very competitive and very aggressive rate. I think that while hotel owners will have to consider lowering their prices very aggressively in order to attract displaced apartment renters, and get them to stay in your hotels for 3 to 12 months while they get back on their feet, I think that the advantages to getting that revenue over no revenue, will overcome any reluctance that the hotels may have. Another thing is going to be a change in mindset. A lot of hotel management teams are simply going to have to change their view of the market pricing structures that they've been so comfortable with for the last few years. That means accepting much lower rental rates for their hotels from displaced apartment renters, just to keep revenue flowing to the hotels. Also, you have to keep something else in mind, and this is really strategic thinking. When you help people in their darkest hour, when you give them a hotel room because they've lost their apartment, um, and you give it to them at an extremely low and affordable rate, then those people, once they do get back on their feet, they're going to remember that act of kindness from you, and they're going to patronize your hotel for the rest of their lives. That's the kind of loyalty that you cannot buy using conventional advertising, or conventional loyalty programs. When you put a roof over somebody's head when they need it most, that's a lifetime customer. Now there's the issue of pod hotels. In Japan now, a lot of hotels offer these very small capsule or pod rooms for people to stay at. These rooms are approximately the size of a bedroom. The bathroom for all of them is communal, and it's typically down the hall. While they're very small, these pod or capsule hotel rooms are also very modestly priced. They cost a fraction of what a conventional full-sized hotel room costs. I think that hotels should seriously consider converting a percentage of their normal-sized hotel rooms into pod rooms. And that will open up an entirely new market for you. It'll help you provide much more revenue with budget or economy-minded travelers who could normally not afford your larger rooms. These are just a few of the many business models and technologies that we can help you with. If you'd like to retain our services to help you restore your hotels to profitability, then you can contact us at johnarcshow@gmail.com. Once again, that's JOHNARCSHOW@gmail.com. I believe that a lot of hotel room chains are about to go bankrupt, and that by employing our innovative services, we can help you survive and thrive in this fast changing environment. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.